Ram Ram
Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Ram Ram Ram.
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण। Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Tuesday. It is 5th of November. Kartika Masa, Damodara Masa, Shukla Paksham, and the Chaviti Tithi. So there is one verse we learn today. So today is disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada. And it is in the calendar. One has to fast until afternoon, full fasting until afternoon. So we shall read few lines from this conversation.com about Srila Prabhupada's disappearance. So there is much of information. I'm just going to read from the top and the end. So Srila Prabhupada was born Abhay Charan Day on September 1st, 1896 in Calcutta, India. His father was Gaur Mohan Dey, a cloth merchant, and his mother was Rajani. His parents, in accordance with Bengali tradition, employed an astrologer to calculate the child's horoscope, and they were made brilliant by the auspicious reading. The astrologer made a specific prediction: when this child reaches the age of 70, he would cross the ocean, become a great exponent of religion, and open 108 temples. This is from Satguru Padas Goswami 1987. Your ever well wisher, page number is not known. So it is noteworthy that in that very same year, 1896, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakura's book was accepted into McGill University, Canada, a pilot light for preaching in the West. When young Abhay had been unwilling to go to school, his father saw the humor in it and always treated him kindly and was lenient. His mother, however, hired a man to escort young Abhay daily to school. Gaur Mohan Dey was also a pure-hearted Vaishnava. He often used to take young Abhay to the local Sri Radha Govinda temple, where young Abhay was seen to be stood for many long hours offering prayers before the deity. The deity was so beautiful with his slanted eyes. As Abhay grew up, he became more and more devoted to the deity form of the Lord. He was especially enamored with the Jagannath Radha festival that was held in Calcutta each year. Hearing and understanding the significance of the festival, Abhay would sometimes check railway timetables to go to Jagannath Puri, where Lord Chaitanya personally attended some 500 years before. Every year, a conservative estimated 5 million people attended the festival. This absorbed Abhay more in the mood of Radha Yatra. So from there, Srila Prabhupada's devotional service to the deities, so it increased, and then he has prepared a small cot for himself by his father, Gaur Mohan Dey, and he has performed that one. And then gradually, so he grown up to the teenagers, and then later on in his college days, Gandhi was calling for the Indian students to rebel and give up British mundane manipulative educations that would ultimately bind one in slavery to the British Raj and would deny the Indian people of their religion, culture, inevitably their country. So that we see now. So people are here in this country, so they are bound by this culture, the British culture. Okay, so now Prabhupada later on he has given up this college education, and then later on he accepted this Gandhi's movement. Later on, by the meeting of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, and then he was convinced with the instructions of his spiritual master that Krishna consciousness propagating is very essential. It cannot wait for any national freedom from any Britishers or anything else because the time is devouring everyone's life. without knowing. So in such a way, he has convinced, and later on in the first movement, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Goswami, he has asked to preach Krishna consciousness in the West. So later on, Srila Prabhupada's his father, he has his father was concerned about Prabhupada's future, and also he made this employment in the Bose pharma industry. He joined as a manager. Later on, his family life. Later on, he has moved to the West to preach Krishna consciousness. I'm just skipping these parts. Just going to the last part of the section about Srila Prabhupada. So after preaching Krishna consciousness in the West, so after few months after his visit to London, after giving up eating, sleeping, etc., only subsisting on deities, Charanamrita home, he now returned to his beloved Vrindavana. The concerned devotees consulted astrologers on Srila Prabhupada's request with a view to gaining insight as to when this condition would pass. Everything indicated that this could be the time of Srila Prabhupada's disappearance. Although some said that if he were to survive this difficult time for his body, he would carry it on for a few more years. One astrologer suggested Maha Mrityunjaya Japa and Havan, to which Srila Prabhupada responded. So this Japa, Maha Mantra Japa and Bhagavat, Bhagavat Path that I am doing, Srimad-Bhagavatam Pata. So either read Bhagavat or chant Hare Krishna and let me lie down like this. That's all, as it is going on. So, in his humility, Srila Prabhupada requested many of his god brothers to come, and those who could not come, he sent telegrams asking for their forgiveness of any offenses that he may have committed while trying to push on and fulfill the preaching mission of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur Prabhupada. Humbly, Srila Prabhupada requested like this, and the loving devotees surrounding his bedside carried out his every wish. Many god brothers came, sharing treasured moments together, knowing Srila Prabhupada's nature and heart's desire and intent. There was no question of any offense being taken. As a complete philosophy, a full and rich culture, a way of life, and a way to death, and beyond, the acharyas like Srila Prabhupada have left a wealth of guidance that we can take advantage of to help us advance. Some things as eternal truths, some to be applied according to time, place, and circumstance. Nothing was left untouched. No mysteries or controversies. The Chaste Prabhupada followers recognize this, look for what he has left, and resolve and push on his movement as he did himself. Srila Prabhupada, residing in the holy Dham of Sri Vrindavan on Monday, November 14th, 1977, at 7:30 p.m., which fell upon the Chaturthi of the Gaura or Shukla Paksha. Mola Nakshatra gave up this mortal frame surrounded by loving disciples engaged in Harinam Sankirtan, the congregational chanting of the holy name. Translating Srimad-Bhagavatam up until very last breath in a peaceful condition and with the holy name on his tongue, Srila Prabhupada passed from this world in Sri Vrindavan Dhama to rejoin his worshipable lords Shri Shri Nitai Gaura, Shri Shri Krishna Balaram, and Shri Shri Radhe Shyam Sundara in their eternal abode. He is the nail who tells that Vaishnavas die when thou art living still in sound. The Vaishnavas dies to live and living try to spread the holy name around. Poem by Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakura. That is about the events today, about disappearance day of Srila Prabhupada. So, and fasting until afternoon. Okay, so we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय हरे कृष्ण. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit Maharaj, so addressing about the living entities, how they have acquired this material body and experiencing these pains and pleasures by the influence of the external energy of the Lord. Bahurupa iva bhati maya bahurupaya Ramamano Guneshwasya Mamaham iti manyate. He thinks that wherever he goes, whatever the body he accepts, he thinks that Mamaham iti manyate. In such a way, Ramamano Guneshwasya, he experiences his pains and pleasures, and he thinks that he is enjoying. Yerhi Baba Mahimnishwe Parasmin Kalamayoho Rameta Gatasammoha Chakta Udaste Tada Ubhayam. So likewise, once he giving up this duality, this is I and mine, Tada Chakta Udaste Tada Ubhayam. Ubhayam means I and mine, two concepts, I and mine. As soon as he give up these two concepts, he will be Rameta Gata Sammohaha. He will be revealing from the bewilderment and Rameta. So he experienced when Yerhivava Mahimnishve Parasmin Kalamayoho. So we have been discussing this particular verse. So this one is the third verse. Yerhivava Mahimnishve Parasmin Kalamayoho Rameta Gatsamoha Chaktva Udafte Tada Ubhyam. So we have seen this particular verse yesterday also. As soon as the living entity becomes situated in his constitutional glory and begins to enjoy the transcendence beyond the time and material energy, he at once gives up the two misconceptions of life, I and mine, and thus becomes fully manifested as the pure self. So we have seen half of this purport. Let us continue the next half of the purport. Can I request any volunteer devotees? Sister, today, can I request Hangma Mataji to read the next half of the purport, please?
Hare Krishna Prabhu. The Supreme Truth is uncontaminated by the illusory energy because he is the controller of that energy. The relative truth are apt to be engrossed in illusory energy. The best purpose is served. However, when one is directly facing the Supreme Truth, as when one faces the sun overhead in the sky is full of light. The sun overhead in the sky is full of light, but when the sun is not in a visible sky, all is in darkness. Similarly, when one is face to face with the Supreme Lord, he is freed from all illusions, and one who is not so is in darkness of illusory Maya. The Bhagavad Gita, chapter 14, verse 26, confirms this as follows. Mama chayo vyabhicharana bhakti yogena sarvate suguna samatityataya brahma bhyaya kalpate. So the science of bhakti yoga at worshipping the Lord, glorifying the Lord, hearing the Srimad-Bhagavatam from the right sources, not from the professional man, but from person who is Bhagavatam in life, and being always in association of pure devotees should be adopted in earnestness. One should not be misled by misconceptions of I and mine. The karmis are fond of the conception of mine. The Gyanis are fond of the conception of I, and both of them are unqualified to be free from the bondage of illusory energy. Srimad-Bhagavatam and primarily the Bhagavad Gita are both meant for delivering a person from the misconception of I and mine, and Srila Vyasadeva transcribed them for the deliverance of the fallen souls. The living entity has to be situated in the transcendental position where there is no more influence of time nor of the material energy. In conditioned life, the living entity is subjected to the influence of time in the dream of past, present, and future. The mental speculator tries to conquer the influence of time by future speculations of becoming Vasudeva or the Supreme Lord himself by means of culturing knowledge and conquering over ego. But the process is not perfect. The perfect process is to accept Lord Vasudeva as the supreme in everything, and the best perfection in culturing knowledge is to surrender unto him because he is source of everything. Only in that conception can one get rid of misconception of I and mine. Both Bhagavad Gita and the Srimad-Bhagavatam confirms it. Srila Vyasadeva has specifically contributed to the illusioned living entities, the signs of God, and the process of Bhakti Yoga in his great literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the conditioned soul should fully take advantage of this great science. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Okay, thank you, Mataji.
Thank you.
Okay, so here in this purport, so Prabhupada has been explaining about the I and mine, and in extension, how to come out of this particular conception, I and mine. So here, the supreme truth is uncontaminated by the illusory energy because he is the controller of that energy. Relative truths are apt to be engrossed in illusory energy. So this is the consciousness is the यत्तत् सत्त्वगुणं स्वच्छं शान्तं भगवतः पदं यदाहुः वासुदेवाख्यं चित्तं तद् महदात्मकं चित्तं तद् महदात्मकं. This chittam is the consciousness. Mahadaatmakam is contains of all the ingredients of the material nature. Mahadaatmakam, this is the soul of Mahatattva. So it is called Vasudeva. The pure consciousness is called Vasudeva. Yadahuhu Vasudeva Akyam. But here, because we have come in contact with the matter, so we are contaminated consciousness. This is I and mine. So here we need to come to that platform of Vasudeva and then address. When we are worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhimahi Pradyumnaya Aniruddhaya Nama Sankashanaya Cha. The Chaturviha needs to be addressed. Narada Muni gives instructions to Vyasadeva. And then further, the best purpose is served, however, when one is directly facing the Supreme Truth, when one faces the sun. So when he is situated in the Vasudeva Sthiti, then he will see everything very clear. Just like giving the analogy that whenever there is a sunlight, we see the day in full. He sees himself and he sees everything else. But when the sun is not in the visible sky, all is in darkness. He cannot see himself and he cannot see what is there in and around. So similarly, when one is face to face with the Supreme Lord, he is freed from all illusions, and one who is not so is in the darkness of illusory Maya. So, and Prabhupada brings this verse, Mamchayo avicharena bhakti yogena sevate sagunan samati chetan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. And whoever is rendering to Supreme Lord Krishna in the bhakti yogena sevate, with love and devotion, without any expectation in return, that is called bhakti. Bhakti yogena sevate. That is how Mamchayo avibicharena. Vyabhichara is going to this god, that different gods. That is called Vyabhichara Vritti. So generally it is applied in a prostitute goes to different men. So likewise, when the people are going to different demigods and worshipping, that is called the Vyabhichara Bhakti. So here Krishna is saying, Mamchayo avibhicharena bhakti yogena sevate. Don't go not to any other demigod. Just only come to me and render service unto me. Bhakti yogena sevate. Sagunan samati chaichan brahma bhuyaya kalpate. So in such a way, he would cross this sagunan. The gunas are the three: goodness, passion, and ignorance. Samati chaichan, he would cross, and then brahma bhuyaya kalpate, he would attain that brahma, the brahma bhuta sthiti, kalpate. So that Krishna is saying. So just by holding on to the lotus feet of Krishna in the with love and devotion, then one would cross these three material modes of nature very easily. And here, but one, so the signs of Bhakti Yoga of worshipping the Lord, glorifying the Lord, hearing the Srimad-Bhagavatam from the right source, not from the professional man, but from a person who is Bhagavatam in his life. So the two kinds of Bhagavatas, one is book Bhagavata, and another one is person Bhagavata. Person Bhagavata is who kept the Lord in his heart. भवद्विदा भागवताः तीर्थभूताः स्वयं विभो तीर्थे कुर्वन्ति तीर्थानि स्व अन्तःस्तेन गदावृताम्. So a devotee of the Lord, he keeps the Lord in his heart. Wherever he goes, he makes that place as a pilgrimage. That's why he is called Bhagavata. Bhavadvida Bhagavataha Tirthabhutaha Swayam Vibho. They are the personified Tirthas. Instead of going to Ganges, Yamuna, and so many other rivers, one has to approach a devotee of the Lord. He is a Tirthabhuta, Swayam Vibho. And here, and being always in association of pure devotees should be adopted in earnestness. Satam prasangan mama veer samvido bhavanti hrutkana rasayan kataha tadjoshinadvasu apavardhavatmani shraddha ratihi bhakti anukramishyati. So one has to always stay in the devotees association and learn this Bhagavatam and how to worship Krishna. All the knowledge about Krishna, it will be revealed. And so one should not be misled by the conceptions of I and mine. The karmas are fond of conception of. So many people, they're trying to come out this kind of conception and I and mine. But Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, in the second chapter, he mentions, Yah sarvatra anabhihi sneha tat tat prapya shubha shubham nabhinandati nadvesti tasya prajna pratisthita. He mentions that one should not have to reject anything. At the same time, one should not have to uh, desires anything. Nabhinandati nadvesti. He is situated in the proper tasya prajna pratisthita, proper intelligence. And people who are trying to control this kind of conception, यततोऽपि ह कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य विपश्चितहम् इन्द्रियाणि प्रमादीनि हरन्ति प्रसभं मनः. Though such kind of people, they are trying to control his mind and um, I and free from this I and mind. So for them, the senses are very strong. Indriyani pramadhini. Pramadhini is dangerous. Haranti prasbham manaha. They will disturb even such kind of people who are trying to control the senses. So these are the statements. So one has to, but why he is getting that one? Dhyayato vishan pumsaha sangasteshu upajayate. Because he is come in contact with the matter in so many other things. That's why first he contemplate, and then sangasteshu upajayate. He will make the attachment with them, and then he wanted to desire and fulfill his desires. And if it fulfills, then there are further more desires. If he is not, he will get angry. संगात् संजायते कामः कामात् क्रोधो विजायते क्रोधोद्भवति सम्मोहः सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशो बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति. So likewise he fall down into the material pole. So first of all, his senses should not be exposed to the material nature unnecessarily. So if he is touching, it must be based on swadharmacharanam sekcha vidharmacha nivartanam. Daivalabdhyana santosha atmaviccharanachanam. And if he is going into the material world and to do something, then yada samharite chayam kurmonganiva sarvashaha. Just like a turtle, when it is exposed to any danger, it extracts all of his limbs back into his shell, and it will be safe there. Likewise, whenever he is going into this material world to meet with so many people, one has to be very take all his senses back. He should not expose his senses in the sense, he should not take anything for himself, thinking that they are not for himself. It will be disturbing. And here further, this is the I and mine conceptions that can be easily crossed just by hearing Srimad-Bhagavatam daily. Shranvata Shraddhaya Nityam Gunastasya Swachesitam Kalena Natidirghena Bhagavan Vishre Krudi. Shranutam Swakataha Krishnaha Punya Shravanakettanaha Hrujjantastu Hebhadrani Vidunoti Suhrustatam. These are the verdicts of Srimad-Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. They're all for completely coming out of I and mine conception. So Vyasadeva has transcribed them for the deliverance of the fallen souls. And the living entity has to be situated in the transcendental position where there is no more influence of time nor of the material energy. So this is whenever this is Mam Yevaye Prapadyante Mayam Yetam Tarantite. Krishna gives assurance that whoever is in my association, they will not be affected by the material energy. That's why Kshemaya Padamulame Pravishinti Akuto Bhayam. Everyone comes to my lotus feet for the completely free from ज्ञान वैराग्युक्तेन भक्ति योगेन योगिनः क्षेमाय पादमूलमे प्रविशन्ति अकुतो भयम्. And in the conditioned life, the living entity is subject to the influence of the time in the dream of past, present, and future. This is the conditioned life. The mental speculator tries to conquer the influence of time by future speculations of becoming Vasudeva, Supreme Lord himself, by means of culturing knowledge and conquering our ego. But the process is not perfect. These are the mental speculators. So Naijamanya Bhaktya, Naijamanya Yuktya Bhagavati Akilatmani, Sadrusu Asi Tiva Panta Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye. So even the whatever Brahma Siddhas also, unless they come and start worshipping Krishna, they will not become perfect. Naijamanya Yuktya Bhagavati Akilatmani, Sadrusu Asi Tiva Panta Yoginam Brahma Siddhaye. It is their process is also not perfect until they come to devotional service. The perfect process is to accept Lord Vasudeva as the Supreme Personality of Godhead in everything, and the best perfection in culturing knowledge is to surrender all to Him because He is the source of everything. This is Bahunam Janmanamante Jnanavan Mam Prapadyate Vasudeva Sarvamiti Samahatma Sudurlabaha. Again, Krishna says that one. He is such kind of called Mahatma Sudurlabaha, very rare such kind of great souls. Only in that conception one can get rid of the misconceptions of I and mine. So, and then both Bhagavad Gita and Srimad-Bhagavatam confirm it. Srila Vyasadeva has specifically contributed to the illusion living entities, the science of God and process of Bhakti Yoga in the great literature, Srimad-Bhagavatam. So, conditioned soul should fully take advantage of this great science. Then, Anadhopasimam Sakshat Bhakti Yogam Adokshaje. So Lokasya Ajanato Vidvan Chakre Satpat Samhitam. So Vyasadeva has given this Srimad Bhagavatam for the poor souls, who are conditioned souls. So that Anadha Upashamam, so they will be free from all kinds of anadhas in this material world. So likewise, Prabhupada is explaining here how to come out of this I and mine conception. So one has to every day read Bhagavad Gita, study Srimad Bhagavatam among the devotees association. Then gradually, when his heart is completely filled with the Lord and his pastimes, then there is no chance for other material things to enter into his heart. Okay, so that is Srimad Bhagavatam. यर्हि वाव महिम्निष्वे परस्मिन् कालमाययोः रमेत गतसम्मोहः त्यक्त्वा उदास्ते तदा उभयम्. So when he is situated in the parasmin kalamayoho, yerhi vava mahimnishve. So that is a living entity when situated in the devotional service and the proper transcendence, then he will experience this eternal happiness coming out of the illusory energy of the Lord. Gata sammohaha. Tyaktva udaste tada ubhayam. Likewise, Prabhupada is explaining. Sukadeva Goswami speaking to Parikshit. Okay, that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, so we are at 7 o'clock. Now it is time for Damodarastakam. So today our Damodarastakam Kirtan by Radharani Mataji.
Hare Krishna Guru, Hare Krishna everyone.
And dear devotees, so if you are doing Gila and Pafrik, kindly turn on the videos. Hare Krishna. Mataji, kindly start.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Namo Vishwaram Sachidanandrupam Lasat Kundalam Gokule Brajamalam Yashoda Viyolukaladravanam Param Vishtam Antyantato Dukya Gopya
Rudantam muhuranetra yugman mrijantam Karamboja yugmena satankanetram Muhushwasakam patrirekam kakanta Vistita grevam damodaram bhaktipadam Iti driksvalila he ananda kunde Swagosham nimanjantam akhyapayantam Tadiyeshitageshu bhaktajitatvam Puna prematastam shatavati vande Garam deva moksham namokshavalilva Nachanyam reneham vareshadabeha Idam te vapunatha gopala balam Sada me manasya virashtam kimanye Idam te mukam bojam matyantanilai Vritam kuntalai snigdharaktasya gopya Muhushum vidam bimbaraktaharam me Manasya virashtamanam lakshanavai Namo Deva Damodarananta Vishnu Prasida Prabhu Dukha Jalabdimagnam Kripa Drishti Vrishyati Vinambatanu Grihane Shamamma Gyanavidyakshiresya Kube Matmajo Bhadam Bhujay Mayatpan Tvaya Mochito Bhakti Bhajo Kritaucha Tata Prema Bhaktim Swakam Me Prayacha Namo Kshegraho Me Siddhamodareha Namaste Studamne Spuradipti Damne Tvadiyodaraya Vishwasya Damne Namo Radhikaya Tvadiya Priyaye Namo Nandalilaya Devaya Tobhyam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sri Damodarashtaka ki jai, Sri Yashodamaya ki jai, Sri Kartik Mas ki jai. Do you want me to do the translation, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji. So you can
To
share
the,
forward.
to the Supreme Lord, whose form is the embodiment of internal existence, knowledge and bliss, whose shark-shaped earrings are swinging to and fro, who's beautifully shining in the divine realm of Gokula, who, due to the offense of breaking the pot of yogurt that his mother was churning into butter, and then stealing the butter that was kept hanging from swing, is quickly running from the wooden grinding mortar in fear Mother Yashoda, but who has been caught from behind by her, who ran after him with greater speed. Through the Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, I offer my humble obeisances. Seeing the whipping stick in his mother's hand, he is crying and rubbing his eyes again and again with his two lotus hands. His eyes are filled with fear, and the necklace of pearls around his neck, which is marked with 3 lines like a conch shell, is shaking because of his quick breathing due to crying. To the Supreme Lord Sri Damodar, whose belly is bound not with rose but with his mother's pure love, I offer my humble obeisances. By such childhood pastime, this is drowning the inhabitants of Gokul in pools of ecstasy, and is revealing to those devotees who observe in knowledge of his supreme majesty and opulence that he is only conquered by devotees whose pure love is imbued with intimacy and is free from all conceptions of awe and reverence. With greater love, I again offer my obeisances to Lord Damodar hundreds and hundreds of times. O Lord, although you are able to give all kinds of benedictions, I do not pray to you for the boon of impersonal liberation, nor the highest liberation of internal life in Vaikuntha, no any other boon which may be obtained by executing the 9 processes of bhakti. O Lord, I simply wish that this form of yours as Bala Gopal in Vrindavan may ever be manifest in my heart. For what is the use to me for any other boon beside this? O Lord, your lotus face, which is encircled by locks of soft black hair tinged with red, is kissing again by Mother Yashoda, and your lips are reddish like the bimba fruit. May this beautiful vision of your lotus face be ever manifest in my heart. Thousands of benedictions of no use to me. O Supreme Godhead, I offer my obeisances unto you. O Damodar, O Ananta, O Vishnu, O Master. O my Lord, excuse me, be pleased upon me by showering your glance of mercy upon me. Deliver this poor ignorant fool who is immersed in an ocean of worldly sorrows and become visible to my eyes. O Lord Damodar, just as the 2 sons of Kuvara Manigra and Nalakuvara were delivered from the curse of Narada and made into God devotee by you in your form as a baby, tied with rope to a wooden grinding mortar. In the same way, please give to me your own prema bhakti. I only long for this and have no desire for any kind of liberation. O Lord Damodar, I first offer my obeisances to the impurity and fulgent robe which binds your belly. I then offer my obeisances to your belly, which is the abode of the entire universe. I humbly bow down to your most beloved Srimati Radharani, and I offer the obeisances to you, the Supreme Lord who displays unlimited pastime. Shri Kaushik Mas ki jai, Shri Ashodamaya ki jai.
Jai. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very beautifully sung. Okay, so that is from the Madrastakam. Very beautiful. Thank you so much, Mataji and Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we shall quickly move back to Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. Okay, so to related to ISKCON Temple Presidents, May 4th, 1970, California, Los Angeles, California, and a list of names of the presidents of the temples. And it's a small letter. Can I request Radharani Mataji, would you like to read if possible, if you're okay? Or Vipin Vihari Prabhuji. Vipin Vihari Prabhuji or Radharani Mataji, would you like to read this letter? Or?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, Hare Krishna everyone. So, my dear, please accept my blessings. I hope everything is going well in your center. As each and every ISKCON center is my life and soul for preaching this movement, I hope you are doing your best to conduct the regular routine duties of the temple, chanting regularly the beads, observing the restrictive regulations, taking Sankirtan party to the streets, and selling our magazines and books. Now, at the present moment, I am concentrating my energy in this Los Angeles center as ideal for all other centers in respect of deity worship, Aratrik, Kirtan, and other necessary paraphernalia. As I have curtailed my moving program, I wish that you may come here at your convenience and stay here for a few days and see personally how things are going on. And by meeting with me personally for necessary instruction, I hope simultaneously in all centers our activities will be of the same standard. Hope this will meet you in good health and more when we meet. You have a well wisher. A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami. Shri Prabhupada ki jai.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Can you take away points, Prabhuji, from this letter?
So, as we can see, Prabhupada was trying to set up, if I remember correctly, Los Angeles had one of the first Radha Krishna deities, small deities, in the world, in this movement, and Prabhupada wanted to set the standard of deity worship there. And Los Angeles was a very, very dear place for Prabhupada. I think out of 3 places he spent more time was in outside India was Los Angeles and Bhaktivedanta Manor. So there were 2. There was one more place I can't remember, but Los Angeles was one of the places where he spent lots of time. I think they call it the Watseka Avenue Temple, if I remember correctly. So yeah, Prabhupada set up Radha Krishna deities there, and he wanted to set the example and the standard how deity worship should be conducted in the movement, in the society at that time. So we can see here that he's asking devotees, his disciple, to come for a few days and personally see how things are going on. But at the same time, as Prabhupada always does, he was encouraging the basics, his devotees, to chant regularly on the beads, observing the restrictive regulations, taking Sankirtan party to the streets, and of course selling books and magazines. So yeah, so Prabhupada has always maintained this deity worship program and the basics, always encouraging his disciples to engage in those activities. So Prabhupada also said that he has curtailed his moving program, so which means he wasn't traveling much there because he wanted to set that standard to make Los Angeles the benchmark of an ideal temple. So, and with the hope that all other centers in the world will adopt the same standard. So, yeah, today is Prabhupada's disappearance day, and I think we should reflect on what he has given us. And if Prabhupada wasn't here, where we would have been. There's nobody in this world which has done what he has done. Even if you see the previous acharyas, the great acharyas of the Vedic history, even Buddha, even Shankaracharya, even all the main acharyas in the Sampradaya, they never crossed the ocean. But Prabhupada actually crossed the ocean and didn't set up temples in one country, but he set up 108 temples in all the continents, most of the continents. Of course, not the Antarctica and the Arctic, but the main continents. He traveled everywhere, 14 times around the globe in 11 years. So this is a day for reflection and to reinforce and renew our faithfulness to Prabhupada. Because nobody has done what he has done, and nobody will do what he has done. Nowadays, you have so many gurus and spiritual leaders who are traveling and preaching and setting up their own temples. I'm not talking of Gaudiya Vaishnava, I'm talking in general of any other movement, but not at the age of 69, not traveling by boat, not suffering 2 heart attacks, not with only 40 rupees. Nobody can replicate this. So Prabhupada left us with this, and I think my realization is we stick with the basics: chanting, reading, doing prachar, sankirtan, reading Prabhupada's books every day and reflecting on on what he has given to us and renewing our faith and dedication to the legacy he has left before he disappeared from this world. So yeah, this letter is very short and simple, but I think it summarizes all the essentials of what every devotee should do. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Very nicely explained. And it is very nice to hear you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. And whenever you get a chance, kindly give us this opportunity to hear you in the mornings.
Hare Krishna. Very well, thank you.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so any other reflections, dear devotees, you wanted to add to this letter? Okay, so that is from Srila Prabhupada's letter. So one has to have the temple worship in a very high standard, as in the Bhagavatam it is said, Madhyashna Darshana Sparsha Puja Suti Abhivandanaihi Bhutesh Madbhavanaya Satven Asangamena Cha. So this is the purpose of deity worship. So one has to have deities worship there, touch the deities and then worship. So one should have in the home or go to the temple if you have opportunity to bathe the deity, touch the deity, dress the deities and all these things. It has to go through a proper standards. All activities of the same standards Prabhupada wanted. And then Adhyatmika Anusravana Nama Sankirtanachami Arjavena Arisangena Nidham Kriya Tatha. So always in the devotees association. Arya Sangena, it is the devotees or Aryans, not anyone else. So who are in the Sanatana Dharma, following this Varnashrama Dharma, they are called Aryans. Everyone are on the animalistic life. So Prabhupada is giving all these things. Otherwise, even the one is why we have to do it, deity worship is Aham Sarveshu Bhuteshu Bhutatma Avastitihi Sadha. I am situated in all the living entities. And Hitva, and he says, Tam avadhyaya mamatyaha. And whoever is not recognizing that, and then Arche Kurti Archa Vidambhanam, and who they're simply worshipping means they're just only pretending it, but they are not actually worshipping it. If one is engaged in the deity worship means he has to see all the living entities in equal vision, with equal vision. The Yomam Sarvesh Yomam Bhuteshu Sarveshu Santamatmanameshwaram Hitvarcham Bhajre Mojham Basmani Eva Juhoti Saha. And if we are seeing the bodily concept of life, though one is worshipping deity worship, then his worship is just like a Bhasmani Eva Juhoti Saha, pouring the all the ghee in the bhasma ashes which doesn't blaze. So one has to at the same time develop this looking every living entity with equal vision. So, and for that one, we have got these are the transcendental houses, they are the temples. It is an opportunity for all the temples. They should have all the proper standards. And then for that to maintain those temples and sanghas, we need to go through austerities. We have to be purest. Life should be simplest. Aim should be the highest. So these are the propensity. And with that purity as the force, one can preach Krishna consciousness and give this knowledge to all the people of this world through Sankirtana movements. Taking Sankirtana party to the streets and selling magazines and books so that everyone will get an opportunity to learn about Krishna. And this is called self-realization. Okay, this is my takeaway points. Okay, so any other additions? Okay, so that is from Prabhupada's letter. And from the announcements point of view, so today evening, today's Tuesday evening at 8 p.m. preaching practice session with Her Grace Gopi Mataji at 8 p.m. Okay, so that is from the announcements point of view. And dear devotees, if you have got any other events or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Okay, if there are no further updates or sharings, then we shall conclude and continue with further japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनन्तकोटिवैष्णववृन्द की जय। शिल प्रभुपाद की जय। Have a Krishna conscious day, everyone. जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य